Okay, we are not messing around. We're gonna do kind of a big project on this gorgeous August evening. Alright, if you've seen one of my more recent shorts, there's no cruise control at all. Like as you well know, with the functioning vehicles that you already have, there's an indication that comes up in this area that lets you know that your cruise control is activated. Mine is not functional. And in addition to that, like your clock spring, this contraption right here, alright, this contraption right here is responsible for majority of the electronics on your steering wheel. So that is your cruise control button. This is your acceleration set, acceleration, deceleration. Cancel, your mode that switches the input on your radio, the channel selection, and the volume control. Everything is controlled by this device here. This device here is called the clock spring. If you go to eBay and search, you go to Amazon and search, or you go anywhere and search, this is the clock spring for the 2004-2008 TSX. It's not super complicated. It's just you gotta make sure you got your tools, at least on this version, and I'll show you why. First things first, I do not know if an airbag can deploy if a car is not on, but I don't ever want to find that out. So please disengage your negative battery cable from the negative terminal, please. Pretty please. And we're good. First thing you can potentially do is, as you see it's outlined here, it goes all the way down on the other side. You could potentially move this piece with a plastic pry tool or your hand, just to help access, because you ultimately will be disconnecting this portion here. And this is where you can potentially run into trouble, depending on what type of bolt you have on your TSX. This is mine. I have this nice star, so I have to get the right bit, which I do have, and get the right torque and pull that off. Not every TSX has this. I've actually come across some that have regular screws, but if you're not ready for it, this can be a barrier. Plan and adjust accordingly. Right there. And if I remember correctly, I don't think you have to remove these button portions at all. But if you do find yourself needing to, you have 1 and 2. Same thing on the other side. It's a very narrow screwdriver. I think it's Phillips. Definitely Phillips. Like it seems to be standard for most vehicles, but it's in here. So it ultimately came down to, for mine, the Torx 30 was ideal for that bolt. I got a little movement with the 27, but the Torx 30, take your time putting it in there. Make sure it's flush, making sure you're doing solid movements when you're torquing the counterclockwise, so you don't strip anything. And this is ultimately what you're pulling out. Alright, Torx 30 T30 bit. It's coming out of your steering wheel, and I think it holds. This is the bolt that holds your airbag in. Same thing on the other side. And this is the contraption I got too. All right, I got a little 3/8 extension. Got a 10mm 3/8 socket holding on to the bed. So that's just enough clearance to get you in that hole. Pause. And I don't have the second one out yet, but once it gets to that extent of being loose, don't yank anything. Yeah. Here we go. So this is where you need to be. So with that, you see these cords are pulling onto that yellow in the back. Unhook all that yellow. All right, so that's off. This, let me well, this came out, all right? There, that black piece, that this part, as you see it, it says push that tab in, and you can release this shard. The way the yellow portion works on mine is it's spring activated. So the outside portion comes down, and it allows it to be taken apart. Yours might be different, but I mean, 1, 2 clips. After 2 or 3 clips, you've seen them all. So definitely don't let this portion defeat you. So look, ideally, when you're doing it, or before you do it, you want your steering wheel to be flush with the horizon of the car, right? Mine is not, but I still know what north, south, and east and west are. Okay, you're gonna get some type of marker. All right, you're gonna make a mark here just to make sure it's all on this bolt. All right, I've already done that here. As you see, it's a very small mark, but that mark needs to be in this position when I tighten it. Right, this is the area that it needs to be. Make sure you line something up as well. In fact, this is not straight at all, but this will be my guide. And this is a 9/16. All right, lefty loosey, tighty righty. Get it off. Oh, and look, that's the hole you go into with that screw. Right, you go in here. This is the other one on this side. Boop. Actually, you can go with 9/16. Somebody fits better. This is a 14. Well, choose your poison. And just like that, with a little leverage, we're good. And look, this thing should be the grooves. You see that? Just, it's gonna come off. It's gonna be tight. Just make sure you just continue to work at it. Don't jerk. Just pull it off until it comes off. Don't put it all the way out either, because as you see, some of the cords might be carton hung. So actually, looks like we do have to take that off. And we're gonna take that off by releasing this entire clamp. All right, just like any other clamp. Press on this tab right here, pull it out gently. All right, and you got the access you need to your clock spring. That is the connection. Gonna get everything booted. All right, and these are my markers. Boom, green, ready to go green when I line everything back up. All right, now we're at the portion where we need to remove this housing unit, because everything that needs to come out is actually clipped at the top portion here. The way that you open this without bashing it up is this bottom portion should be able to flex in, and you should be able to remove the top portion by flexing the bottom portion in. Don't quote me. I'm trying to get this portion down. I've been through a couple of these, but push this portion in. As you see, this one is already being pushed up. So don't rip it. All right, the plastic is very old and brittle if you want to try to salvage this accent piece. See how I pushed it in? See, just like that, around the whole thing. And cool, I was able to take that bad boy off. You're going to apply pressure, but I was able to take it off without damaging any of the hook slugging. Sit it back down flush. Onward. Just like everything else, clip. This is the main clip for the spring. All right, and all I did was give it a little tug. That's it. and you wiggle it out. Up. We gotta get another. Let me see what this is. So what that was the other side of that clip. So I forgot. We gotta take the bottom portion off. It should be easy to access. You got 3 screws. Just unscrew them. And after you take that screw off, you're gonna need to take this portion off. It should be 3 screws on this holder here. 1, 2, and 1 back here. You're gonna need 2 hands, but the steering wheel adjustment portion, this right here, needs to be all the way down for you to get it off. Once that is off, clips. Your next task is to get this clip off. Alright, maybe it looks like you need to squeeze it on both sides, and it might be spring activated like this one. But work it out. Yep, it's spring activated just like this one. Again, pull on these sides, it comes out. Pull on these sides back, and it comes out. This is the portion you're pulling off. And then this should be ready to go. Now look, before you pull it out though, make sure you see where you're pulling it, sticking the new one in. Alright. Back up in this crabby hole. Ugh. There is a holder for it. I can't. You can right here. That's gonna grab onto the hook. I mean to the wire. This portion. But this is what it looks like. Now I'm trying to. Let me see if I can show y'all. Hold on. This one is bad. All this is coiled with ribbon wire, right? When you're turning your steering wheel, this thing is stretching. This ribbon wire inside is stretching. You can feel the tension when you're turning your steering wheel. You got your blinker on. Just making sure you could have continuous power to that blinker. Make sure your controls are working. And you feel the tension. That's as far as it goes right here. Alright? Then you come back around, and that's it. Alright? The new one should come set already. Okay? It should come set, but it should be obvious on where the set portion is. Alright? So as you see, as it states, this portion is the top. The X and the O go on the top. Alright? Put it back on there. Stick it in. This is ground zero. Everything should line up. You see these convex portions? They go into here. Stick all your plugs back on. Make sure you run this one down to the left. Make sure this one is sticking out, at least for this portion to get everything attached. And this is spring loaded, so it made a nice flush, nice, very easy sound when I put it back in. Pause. So it's up there. All right, we're good. And look, I think this, look, they even helped us out. They gave us a bracket. Yay! So it comes set. Awesome. Yep, that's exactly what that is. If it's been tampered with, don't even mess with it. It's boom. She is ready to go out the box. All right, so this cord is in, this one is down, and this is flush. We're not going to put the cover back on until the end, which probably indicates as to why you should take it off first. But put all this stuff back on, right? This first clip right here, this goes to that hole right there. Put it back on, make sure it's nice and easy. And this is the point where you make sure your markings are straight. All right, everything's on. Markings look fine. I am now going to install the main screw. Actually, let's check our work. There we go. Yeah, you see that? Oh yeah. We just came back from a long trip too. I had to feather that thing all the way down the road. Not anymore. And I thought about it. All I had to do was as long as the airbag's out of the way, you should be fine. I shouldn't kick anything off. Alright, we'll just put that back on temporarily. unloosen it again, get back to your work. And look, we got a casualty. This just broke off. It's just super duper old, man. Super old. I guess we'll be figuring out soon at the junkyard. Gotta replace it. I need this active. I'm gonna try to rig up something temporary. I still got a plug. But boo! Yeah, that'll work for now, but maybe I'll put some. You can just pull that out with your fingers. But we gotta. Man, it might be part of the entire housing, but I'm not going into that today. But we're gonna run it like this and see what else we can find at the junkyard. That's just unfortunate. And again, it was the housing piece that apparently came off. Oh well. And look, when you putting these clips back on in the back and this, right? Nothing can be in this space besides these and the entire bag. Like these clips, stuff like that, they need to go back behind here. Alright. They need to go back up in here in this space right here. All up in here. Yeah, I've been doing some reconnaissance. The part that broke is all part of this housing, so we should be fine. Back to where we were. Make sure you put your cork nuts back up in the hole, alright? Both sides. Alright, that's probably the hardest part. Is fishing those screws back in that hole up here. Oh, that's now we're gonna connect all this, make sure it's tucked within this space. Good God. Just when you put the steering wheel back in, you got 4 things you need to stick in this area. Alright? Make sure 2 wires are coming from this side, 2 wires are coming from the actual power steering bag. One's gonna go to this side, another one's gonna go to this side. One's gonna come here, one's gonna come from this side. Make sure everything is dangling down from this concave area. From this black area right here, you see the indentation right here. This clips off and on. Make sure everything is sticking here, so you can hook it up appropriately once you screw these holes through. Woo! All right, now we're putting our accent piece back on, and make sure that's down. The bottom portion is down. Get all that through there, finagle it. You probably want to put this up a little further so you can slip it through there. You're gonna need 2 hands. All right, moment of truth. We know that work. The real moment of truth is make sure this bad boy drives straight. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, we good. Yeah, we good. Yeah. All right. So working too. Take this thing for a spin on. See if we can get some cruise control sustained and established. Oh, there go my glasses. Alright, we're driving. Nope, it's not fast enough. So, for some odd reason, the cruise control is activated, but it does not sustain a speed. I've gone all the way up to 65 on the interstate to no avail. So we're going to entitle this video how to change a clock spring. But this, I clearly need to go back over my work. Maybe it had something to do with the broken side over here, but the saga continues. Like, subscribe. I hope you learned something from this. The clock spring is not as complicated as it may appear. But until next time,